Bold leadership can be risky when it's flashy and reckless. It can cause there to be a change in the culture of an organization. It can create issues around psychological safety, and it can sometimes make people unsure of when they should speak up and if it's really safe to contribute. So here's something different to consider. Instead of boldness being big and brash and sometimes unpredictable, what if we considered that boldness could look like small, incremental change over time that still leads to transformation and impact? What I'm talking about is micro-boldness for macro transformation. If leaders thought about the neuroscience associated with bold leadership and boldness in general, it could create an opportunity for leaders to welcome the opportunity that we can actually train boldness as a neurological skill. We can create ways where leaders and team members recognize that when the brain has moments of uncertainty, the amygdala, which is attached to where fear exists, can be trained to be exposed to small doses of risk over time and creating a safety around what happens when uncertainty shows up. This small technique can actually teach individuals on how to address uncertainty, not from a place of hesitation, but empowered action. And when leaders represent a change in perspective around a leadership development skill such as this, it creates that psychological safety that is important for people to recognize that they can be bold, even if it's expressed differently, even if they're an introvert, even if they do not express boldness in the way of some of the leaders within the organization. The second thing to consider is how incremental boldness or strategic audacity creates an opportunity for there to be a shift in culture. When we think about creativity and innovation, that happens when people feel safe to contribute, safe to speak up, and challenge the status quo. But that happens with time. As leaders, we have to step back sometimes and let others speak up in the meeting. Let someone else offer the idea that we test and try. What that signals to the rest of the team is that there's joint ownership in how we make decisions at some levels of the organization. And I recognize that that can't be done for every big change that happens in the organization, but when we do that in low-risk opportunities, it changes the culture and dynamics of our teams. And the third thing is to recognize that micro change over time can lead to big transformation in the end. Kotter's model, the Kaizen model, two different frameworks that show that incremental change over time can still lead to exponential growth and transformation. This challenges the normal way that we think about boldness, and it redefines how we expect boldness to show up in our teams and in our organizations. And there's more information that can be discussed on this same topic. So if you heard something today that resonated and made you even think about a different way to approach your team, be sure to hit subscribe and the notification bell, and even share it with a colleague in your workforce.